So I want to remind you, our championship parade coverage at the Canes Stanley Cup begins Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. We'll have a Canes Corner live with Brandon Bussey at 9. At 10 o'clock, we'll be live from Taverna Agora on Hillsborough Street with Tim, Dennis, and Adam. And then we'll have the parade for you. 11 o'clock, that's when it's supposed to kick off along Hillsborough, run down Fayetteville, and then we'll have all the speeches for you. Championship parade coverage on 99.9 The Fan, brought to you by Parkway Sleep Health Centers and Cary. Sound sleep, sound health. Portugal in the World Cup, and we need to talk about the World Cup because I think we're missing something larger than just a cultural event. There's an actual sport that is involved. I had a 1-1 draw yesterday against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Congo DR. We'll just call them Congo. That's what they are. Cristiano Ronaldo, who succeeds at everything that he does because he's a handsome man. Maybe that's the key to unlocking success. Be handsome. That gene worked only partially upon me. 1-1 draw in which Ronaldo, very few people call him Cristiano anymore, Ronaldo with his wonderful coiffed hair and his earrings and his legendary status was about as human could be yesterday. He had 2 shots on goal, and neither of them were truly quality opportunities. And many people, even though he has been anointed kind of GOAT status among soccer's elite, was human. And some are not. Some are saying, like, his best years are beyond him, and why is he still on this World Cup stage? If at anything, he should be coming on as a substitute as opposed to being part of the starting 11. This is one of those cases, and much had been said about it coming into this. It's like, what are we going to see out of him? He's been playing in Saudi Pro League for big paychecks. Is he still the same guy? And he did not. At all.
Nope.
Perform at all.
They continue to start him. It's based almost purely on status.
It's
and
legendary status.
Yeah, it's status and trying to maintain his ego, I'm sure. But if you look at his whole history throughout the World Cup, like, he really has not been very good. I mean, especially compared to his statistics and his reputation in club football throughout his whole career, where he scored, I think, like 800 plus goals. I mean, he's now played in 6 World Cups. He's had 23 appearances, and he's only scored 8 goals, which is just not on par with his performance, again, in club soccer, but just not on par for what you need out of your striker in order to succeed in the World Cup. And Portugal really hasn't succeeded that much in these tournaments, largely, I don't want to say largely because of that, but definitely in part due to his lack of success. I mean, there's only been 1 World Cup out of these 6 that he's played in now where he scored multiple goals, and that was in 2018 when he had 4. And even then, Portugal was eliminated in the round of 16. So I don't know what it is. Something about the world stage. Like, usually you would think that he wouldn't shy away from a big opportunity like that and would be able to thrive in an environment like that, just knowing his reputation and kind of his, the way that Ronaldo carries himself. But I don't know what they're doing at this point, continuing to start him, especially at his age. I know he has a lot of experience. Again, I know he's a legend in Portugal, but at some point you have to make a choice to help better your team's chances of actually making a run and going deep. Like, to end up with a draw with Democratic Republic of Congo. That was Congo's, I think that was their first World Cup point ever yesterday to get that draw, and they were big underdogs in that game too. So,
oh yes,
I don't know if they can continue to go with this. If they do, I think that Portugal is kind of admitting they're okay with kind of an earlier exit than they should have for a team of their quality, because everywhere else around their squad is like great players.
Oh, Bruno Fernandes
Quality.
is on that team.
Bruno Fernandes, who just I think he just had his career season in terms of assists. They've got Bernardo Silva, who it just left my Manchester City after 10 years. He's about to go play for Real Madrid. He's still 31 and has a ton of career ahead of him. Joao Neves, who had the goal for them, I believe, in that game yesterday. They've got tons of talent on the back end as well. Joao Cancelo, for one, another former Man City product. Yeah, I don't know if they'll continue to start him. I mean, they might, but it's at their own detriment at this point.
There are more risks. There are more risks when the reality strikes you. And it's great to be put up on a pedestal. Like I said, he wins social media. And he posts something, hey, Ronaldo, what's he up to? Oh, he's sitting in a chair.
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, he's popular.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's great. I want to continue with this conversation. And not necessarily about World Cup soccer. Now that we've every one of the 48 teams has now played a match.
Yes.
We are now on to our second matches starting later today. Much has been said about Freddie Andersen and the Carolina Hurricanes. At 36, on an expiring contract, there have been lots of suggestions that he hangs it up. And I will admit to you that I've also said that out loud, saying, hey, listen, you can, the run only goes as magnificent and as far as you want it to go. And you talk about being healthy, you talk about being able to play in a meaningful way. And if I had to give my advice of what I had said about this several months ago, I would eat a little bit of crow. I believe Freddie Andersen, if he is entertaining ideas of retirement, and he absolutely can, considering what he went through this year, considering the tail end of this year, losing his friend and manager, winning a Stanley Cup with this team after a long career in the NHL, playing for multiple teams in which many of the highlight videos, when they play highlight videos for Freddie Andersen, have him in other uniforms doing other things. He could step away. He has earned that absolute right, but I don't think he should. I don't think he should because of a couple of things. One, free agent goalie class is not that solid right now. It is not good. If the ride ends with the Carolina Hurricanes and he has to move on somewhere else, which happened last year to Brent Burns, so be it. If I'm Freddie and he allows me to whisper in his ear and give him some advice, and they invite me to the Trip Tracy pool party with all the other goalies, I would tell him, you know what, dude? Play until the wheels come off. Because your wheels haven't come off at all. You played 39 regular season games. It was 39, right? I think it was 39 regular season games. You played in 4 playoff series on your way to a Stanley Cup championship and putting that thing over your head. You have the respect of the NHL. You will find a general manager out there that will pay you money to help backstop their team because of what you did this year. Your miles are not that long. Now, with the whatever knee thing that popped up in the Stanley Cup final that led to Brandon Bussey closing out the deal for the Canes, maybe that'll play in a factor. We know he was dealing with blood clot issues, and I'm like, I can only imagine that. I don't know how he didn't win Comeback Player of the Year in that one, but I guess what's-his-face almost died, so there was that one too. I don't think he should step away. I think this is much different. I think the reality for Freddie Andersen, staring him in the face, especially in the current NHL landscape, is that there are still more years to run and play hockey.
I mean, there's always some demand for goaltenders in the NHL. It may not necessarily be with the top contenders in the league, but if he wants to continue playing, I think there's a spot for him somewhere in this league. I mean, it wasn't his best season by any means in the regular season, but he showed throughout this playoff run that he still has something there left in the tank, and it might be a young team somewhere that just, again, needs a stopgap, needs somebody to mind the nets as they continue to develop, but I could definitely see another year or two at least for Frederik Andersen in the league. He bounced back really nicely from those lows of the regular season, and I think he does have a little bit left to give to the game. I will say I think we may be the first program ever to compare Cristiano Ronaldo to Frederik Andersen.
Maybe. I'm just trying to bring it all together here.
I would say Frederik Andersen has more left in the tank than Cristiano Ronaldo at this point. Just because Ronaldo's over there playing in the Saudi Pro League, which is,
If there was a Saudi NHL, Freddie Andersen would be worth $28 million.
That's like the
28.
It was a couple years ago. Somebody tried to start like the Major League Hockey or something.
Wasn't it Sergei Fedorov that was like part of that?
I don't even remember, but thankfully it never really took off because it didn't really seem right. But who knows? Maybe the Saudi Pro League / Live Golf of hockey. Maybe that's coming. Maybe that's coming. Who knows?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want Frederik Andersen. I would rather have Frederik Andersen still stick around in the NHL. It may not be with the Hurricanes, and it may not be, again, with a Stanley Cup contender, but I could see either way. If he decides to hang it up, it's a great way to go out on top, but like we said, I think he has a little bit more to give.
Yeah, 35 games in the regular season. Sergei Bobrovsky played only 52. 52. Again, we're comparing all these legends, right? We think so highly of Bob. We think so highly of Ronaldo. And then you go, Freddie Andersen. Is he part of that conversation? And I go, dude, just put a Stanley Cup up. I'm shut out a couple of good teams in the postseason. I just don't want people to write that eulogy yet, more than anything else.
I'm Max Goren with 3 things you need to know right now from 99.9 The Fan. UNC baseball will play for the national championship this weekend. The Tar Heels defeated West Virginia 12-7 yesterday to advance to the College World Series finals. Game 1 of the best-of-3 series against the Oklahoma Sooners will be on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. The first round of the U.S. Open is underway from Shinnecock Hills Golf Club in Tuckahoe, New York today. World number 1 Scottie Scheffler is looking to complete the career Grand Slam and add his 5th major victory with a win this week. Stay tuned to 99.9 The Fan for updates from golf's toughest test all tournament long, teed up by McConnell Golf. We are 1 week into the FIFA World Cup, and the second round of group stage games begins today. It's another full day of soccer with 4 games across groups A and B starting at noon. Updates from soccer's biggest stage on 99.9 The Fan are brought to you by NC Courage and Wake Orthopedics. For all the latest news on your favorite teams, download the 99.9 The Fan app or visit 999thefan.com.
So the All-Star game in Major League Baseball is changing yet again. First of all, you won't be watching on regular TV. It's now on a streaming platform. It'll be Netflix. So you're going to have to subscribe or get it free through one of your cell phone plans or whatever. Major League Baseball now has dropped the clock for the Home Run Derby. They will go back to set number of swings, and in the first round, you'll get 20, and basically you just the pitcher is going to wear his arm out. And at the end of your round, if you hit a home run on pitch 20, you get a pitch 21. And you get a pitch 22 as long as you keep hitting home runs. So I hit 10 home runs, and on the 20th pitch, I hit a home run. I get another one. And then I get another one as long as I keep hitting home runs. The tiebreaker will be distance in the first round, and then the semifinals and the finals, whoever happens to show up for this stuff, if there's a tie, they'll go to a 3-pitch swing-off. And if there's a tie, they'll just have more. And so with no clock, it avoids kind of dudes just kind of hacking away towards the end and throwing pitches in the dirt just trying to swing. Okay, I get it. Player safety, that I totally understand. At what point do we just call this noise? The Home Run Derby is great for about an hour. And then the All-Star Game, which doesn't mean a lot to most people, lasts 2.5 hours because they're still using the pitch clock. They don't go full Savannah Bananas. And again, there's a place and a time for Savannah Bananas, and this isn't it. MLB has now tweaked this All-Star Game multiple times. The NBA has tweaked it now, upcoming in 2028, following the Summer Olympics, to some really weird world competition. The NHL is really leaning into it a little bit differently with the All-Star experiences now and playing more of a team competition, world versus world. They still have skills. And the NFL Pro Bowls are just a freaking disaster. MLS All-Star Game used to be All-Stars versus All-Stars. At that point, now it's just an extra game, and they're playing a Liga MX team or sometimes a Premier League team or whatever.
It's in Charlotte this year, though.
It is in Charlotte this year. So after this year, can we just drop All-Star games? All-Star games in general. The different exhibition type stuff, Totally cool with.
Yeah, like
the
four,
team
four
format.
nations in the
Yep,
NHL.
4 nations I love.
Keep that.
Keep that stuff. NBA hasn't quite figured it out yet. Maybe with the tweaks that they have this year with the round robin 5-on-5 or 3-on-3 or whatever it is, I guess that's fine. I would not mind MLS after this year to go to a more TST format. Play smaller fields, play with smaller teams, gets more players involved, might actually get the crowd involved too. Major League Baseball has a problem. Outside of the home run derby, the All-Star game is just another baseball game. It could be like NBA Jam or like full backyard baseball, which is going to full revival right now. I'm like, how about have like, if there's some hitter that comes up and you're just like, yeah, they're not riding a hot streak, like substitute the hitter for that play and bring them in. Or make the pitcher go back 10 feet and throw under. I don't care. Something just to, outside of just, well, they're going to change a home run derby and we'll get rid of the clock, which is a good move. It's a good move. Guys won't be free swinging.
Yeah.
They might hit a few more bombs.
I don't know. Like in terms of like standard All-Star games, I will say I think I like Major League Baseball's the most. It just kind of feels like the most pure kind of Americana. Like it fits the sport the best.
Yeah, no. You got me changing my mind a little, but I disagree. I just go
like
none
of them are perfect, and even none of them I would even say are great. But baseball, I think, is just like the purest one.
Let them all go to the beach. Let them have the time off. Just drop them all together. Most fans, unless it's in the city that they're in,